Drone here. Check it out. We got the FreeX drone, and I got a new battery for it. This is the stock battery. As you can see, it's a little puffy. It's not bad. It's definitely workable. Mr. Don, one of you guys sent this to me. Dude named Don, I appreciate you always. But it's time to get a better battery. So I got this battery off of Amazon. Link will be down below for it if you want to check it out. It comes with a Dean's connector. That is this red connector here. I had an adapter to make it to XT30. If you don't have an adapter and you're looking to get it for this, they hooked you up with an XT30. If you want to just change out the tip of it, you can definitely do that. I'm keeping it as Dean's because I also have RC cars that run off of Dean's, so maybe I'll use this in an RC car as well. It is a very snug fit. As you can see, it's a little bit longer. It will fit, it will close. So let's get on with the show here. Again, it's gold something. 3000 milliamp an hour, 30C, 11.1 volt. We're going to put the stock battery in our pocket, and we are going to get this started here. So what we need to do, hang this, if you're going to use this battery, make sure that's hanging out there. You want your balance connector on the right. Go ahead and tuck that balance connector in, and then we can then put this up, and we are going to tuck the majority of this wire in before we connect it. Tuck the majority of the wire in before we connect it. We're going to turn our controller on. We're going to connect this connection here. It's connected. We're going to get the wires in there, and then all you'll need to do is actually pitch the battery upwards just a little bit, and that door will close. So all we're going to do here is pitch the battery upwards a little bit, and our door closes, and that should be locked in tight. So there we go. Let's go ahead and I didn't bring the little, there is a little dongle type thing that you plug in there to calibrate the gyroscope. Hopefully it's fine. I forgot to bring that out with me. We are going to calibrate the magnetic compass here simply by holding in like this, and then as you can see, I don't know if you're able to see that, that turns blue. So all we have to do is we're going to do half turn, that's one turn. You want to do a side barrel roll, half and half is one, and then we want to do a flip, half and half is one, and then to get out of that, all we have to do is go the opposite way. Now we have a red LED, hopefully you can see that, I'm using my shadow. Magnetic north, it knows, and hopefully it knows it well. Magnetic north is that way, so we're just going to pick this up, and let's see, bam, right there. That blue light shows magnetic north. Now all we're waiting on is a green light in the rear. Green light in the rear. This is going to be a flight time test on this battery. I'll go over the controller as I've done in the past. You have your fail-safe up here. If you want to just stop and hold in position, there, green, we have GPS. Then you want that up. Myself, I want it to return home if we lose connectivity with it, so I have that flip that way. You have a headless mode and an altitude hold switch. We're on altitude hold. We have off, GPS, return to home. Flick all the way down to return to home in the center for GPS, and then off to just be off. And to fire the motors, you are going to, and actually I'm gonna put this in GPS right now. It should be fine to take off in GPS. We're going to hold that down, down, and over. Or maybe it does need to be off. Maybe it needs to be off in order to fire the motors. It does. So you can't start it in GPS. You need to start it on the off, and then to shut the motors down, go down into the left corner. That'll shut the motors down. So if you're having a hard time starting this and you have this in the GPS, put it on the off position. So we're going to go down and to the right, fire those motors again, and start your ticker. We're going to go up, and now once we are up, we're going to throw it in GPS. As you can see, it's holding. It's moving around a little bit. I have a little bit of wind. It is definitely holding now. And then we're just going to give this a fly, guys. I did unlock this. I have this unlocked. I was able to figure out how to get it into the program and unlock the parameters. That way we can go past the geofence that was set. I think I've explained that in a video, or maybe I even have the video on how to do it. And we'll bring it back this way, that way you get a good look at it. It's very low cost. I think low cost. I think it's pretty low cost GPS drone now. Some of these came with gimbals. Mine did not come with a gimbal. Again, I got the second hand from one of you guys. Guys, if you like to send me stuff, if you want to send me stuff, this was sent to me. 4 East Market Street, MCADOOPA 18237. J-Drone, 4 East Market Street, McAdoo, PA 18237. MCADOOPA 18237. By all means, send me your drones you're not using. I will fly them. Send me your broken stuff. I will use it. Send me a picture of a unicorn that your kid colored that says J-Drone. I will show it on the channel. But here, again, we're in GPS lock. It's doing really well. So it is fighting, dropping altitude a little bit. Then we're just going to point it this way, and bam, it's pointing north as we see the little blue light in the back. What I want to do, I kind of want to get a picture of this big guy. I want to get a picture of this big guy for the thumbnail. This is how I gather my pictures. Just kind of have that sitting right there. It's gaining in altitude just a little bit. The wind's blowing it. I'd like it to really sit stable. It says large props on it. I don't want to get close towards it and then have it chop me up. Bam. So I'm going to take the hat cam off. We're going to put it all up in there and drop altitude just a little bit. And hopefully that's gathered a nice picture. What we're going to do, we're going to take it out of GPS mode, and bam, it's out of GPS mode now. And now it's not dragging. Before it was dragging, the GPS was trying to grab it as we were flying. It's not dragging anymore. It's pretty much free flight now. We are still in altitude hold mode. I'm wondering, there is a 3-stage switch on my left here that says altitude and headless. Clearly we don't want it in headless, but let's see if dropping that, nope, that puts it in headless. So it's only a 2-stage switch. I thought it was a 3-stage switch because there's a little red dot there. I was going to say, that'd be pretty cool if we could take it out of altitude hold mode and have it really sporty. And as you can see, this battery that I got for it is working epically. Again, it's a Dean's connector, but they provide an XT60 connector, which this is, and that's pretty epic. Most companies don't do that, and I just so happen to have an extra cable that plugs into Dean's and comes out XT60, so I didn't need to change it. And as you've seen in the beginning, we didn't have that little dongle that we plugged in to calibrate the gyroscope, and it's flying well, it's flying nice. I'm not in GPS mode, it's maintaining altitude. The wind is blowing it that way. And again, there is a program that you can download to get into the parameters of this and adjust the geofencing. This thing gets epic range. I forget off the top of my head how far I had it out. Probably like 1.2 kilometers, something like that, where I had it out FPV after I switched those parameters. Because that was Don's biggest issue. He couldn't figure out how to get it on that program, and it took me like a month or two to figure out how to get it on the program and what exactly I needed to do. And it was geofenced horribly out of the box. It had a horrible geofence out of the box, which really limited this drone. And we'll just throw it in GPS by switching that switch down. Ta-da! It's holding for the most part. The wind's kind of pushing it. It's kind of moving around. It's doing a very, very mild orbit until it gathers the position, I guess. And then again, if you're flying in GPS mode, you'll notice it's less sportier because it's trying to be dragged by the GPS, let off the sticks, and it kind of gets pulled backwards. Does a very mild orbit until it gathers. Nothing crazy though, like it's not toilet bowling, it's just very mild orbit until it gathers, and it's gathered over there. All in all, very nice drone. The red on the back Don put on, I left it on. It is a pearl white drone, and again, some of these came with gimbals. I have a gimbal I could throw on it. At some point, I might put the gimbal on it, and then we're just going to go ahead and take it out of the GPS lock and show you a little side-by-side comparison. It's a little bit more sporty. I don't know what speed setting I have this in. You can switch to speed settings on the controller. We'll bring it down here. We'll show you the yaw rate. I'm in mode 2. Let me hold menu. 1, 2, 4. And exit. Yeah, so maybe we were in the highest speed setting. I got a 1, 2, 4 as far as the speed setting goes. Bring it down and show you a little bit of the yaw rate. Again, this is a freshie. And if you look at the back, you got green for GPS. We had the blue. Let's see. There's the blue. That's showing that the direction its nose is facing is north. And I'm not sure what the red's for. Maybe just a status indicator, good to go. So we'll look at the yaw rate. It's a nice yaw rate on this. Give you some funnel action with this big bird. Some funnel action. Trucks are operating off Dean's connectors. It's Dean's connector ready to go. Most guys like their quadcopters XT60s or XT30s. They provide an XT60. It wouldn't be too hard to put an XT30 on this if you wanted to put a monster battery on the Bugs 3. I put in a larger battery than a 3,000 milliamp an hour. I think I put a 5,200 milliamp an hour on the Bugs 3. But this battery will definitely do it. We're not having any issues with this battery. As you can see, that battery door bay is closed, even though the battery is a little bit longer and I have tons of cord. Like I have a length of cord. The length of cord that came on the battery is a little bit long, and then I have an extension off of that that converts it to an XT60. I had the Firefly on this, but it didn't charge, so I took it off. I kind of wanted to get some footage, but we're kind of just buzzing around in the field here doing a time test, so wouldn't have been the best footage, period. So I guess it's all right. And this also leaves this a non-weighted flight. A sporty little bird. It's sporty for the size, man. It really is. We'll do a little punch forward. 1, 2, 3, and a little punch forward. It's definitely got some sport to it. Definitely got a little punch to it. We are climbing. We are climbing. I believe these came in blue too. A blue and a red color, I think. Like a baby blue and I believe a red color, I think they came in. I'm digging the pearl white. I am absolutely digging the pearl white. We'll go ahead and throw a GPS hold. It's going back, it's going back. Throw the brakes on. Throw in GPS hold, it stopped going back. Sitting there pretty nice, sitting there pretty nice. I got a wind blowing this direction. It's moving a little bit. But that could also be that we didn't calibrate the gyroscope because I forgot that little thing to plug in underneath there. And we'll get this to hover again. We'll speak on the battery again. That's kind of what this is. I mean, it's a little bit of a review of the drone. I went over the controller, I went over setup and whatnot. But it's more or less about this battery, especially if you have this. I don't know how readily available the stock FreeX batteries are, because this is a dated quad. It's for the most part sitting there. But if you take a look at this battery, that looks more like a 2,200 milliamp an hour. It really does. The battery that's in it looks like a 3,000. And I'm basing the 2,200 milliamp an hour it's orbiting a little bit when the wind hits it. I'm basically 2,200 milliamp an hour, just off of what a X6, I believe. No, it wasn't a Tarantula X6, but an X8. I believe it was the X8's battery was 2,200 milliamp an hour. That's what it looks like. So, I mean, maybe this battery in here is going to give us much longer flight time just because of the simple fact, maybe it's a true 3,000 milliamp an hour and it's not a manufacturer, hey, I'm giving you 3,000 milliamp an hour and I'm shorting you 800. And again, I don't know if that's true. That's just a general assumption of me looking at the battery and looking at the current battery that's in there, and also having larger batteries, having 4,000 milliamp an hour batteries, having 5,000 milliamp an hour batteries for the Traxxas add-in. The one that's in there doesn't look like a 3000. We're going to take it out of GPS mode simply by flicking that switch. And here, I guess we'll put it in GPS mode. It's in GPS mode. I'm going to show you guys what headless mode is. I really don't use it. I explain it here and there. I really don't suggest you use it. The only good thing that I can say using it would be for is, all right, check it out. So we're in headless mode now. So if I go forward, it's going forward. If I go backwards, it's going backwards. Left, it's going left. Right, it's going right. Now, if I point the nose towards me, okay, I've pointed the nose towards me. I'm going to go forward. The back is now the forward, okay? Nose is towards me. We're going to pull it this way and try to bring it back. Okay, so the nose is towards me, the back is away from me. I'm going to press forward. It's still going to go back because it's in headless mode. If I put it to the side, now the side's facing me, and I press forward, it's still going to go forward in that direction. If I bring it back, doesn't matter that the side's facing me. This side that says FreeX on the side here is now my back. The front is facing left. I can go left, it's going to go left. The back is facing right, I can go right, it's going to go right. I could turn this around this way. Now the front's facing this way and the back's facing that way. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go left, it's going to go left, it's going to go right, it's going to go right. It basically eliminates you having to orientate the drone. Again, the front's facing me, and ideally it would be inverted controls. I'm going to go left, it's going to go left, I'm going to go right, it's going to go right. The only good I can see for that is like right here. If it had a camera, what's it doing here? I believe it might be setting down. Hold on. Let's throw it in. Hold on. Take it out of that. It might be setting down. I think it sits down when it's done. When it's just about done. I'm going to hover here. We're in altitude hold mode. Or no, maybe I flicked RTH. Sorry. I think I did. Bam. There. Motor's off. I think I accidentally hit RTH. Which we'll see. I'm going to try to take off again. Let's see here. Off. Maybe it won't let me. Maybe that was the battery. Maybe that was the full battery. So let's see. We're at 7 minutes and 18 seconds. I'm saying 7 minutes and 20 seconds. I can't believe that's the battery. I thought we got longer flight time with the stock battery. Let me see here. I'm going to not letting me reset. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to unplug all this and then replug it just to see. Come on. And this is all tight fit in here. So let me try to get this XT60 plug out, which I have right now. I mean, we were kind of sport flying it. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn this on. We're going to turn this on. We're going to plug this in. We're going to plug this in. it should gather the satellites pretty quickly. Bam, it did. I'm not even going to do the magnetic compass just because it really should not need it. I'm going to go down and out. It's not letting me, guys. It's not letting me. Back home, altitude. So maybe that's the battery. It could have been the battery. Or maybe I do have to. Here, we'll do it. We'll do the compass calibration, or the magnetic. Yeah, it's magnetic compass calibration. We'll do flippy. We'll do a flippy, and we'll do a front flip. We'll do a front flip. Bam, and we'll get out of there. Okay. Now let's try again. Nope, that might be it. That might be the battery, which I guess this is a hungry drone. Hungry drone that's going to eat up the battery, and maybe that's what's blinking. I got lights under here that are blinking, because no way it's letting me take off with this. Saying nope, not having it. So I guess that's the flight time. I'm going to refer back to my other video and see what type of flight time I got. I thought it should have got a little bit longer flight time. I was kind of sport flying it. But alright guys, I'm J-Drum. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It's definitely a good battery to throw in here, providing we got a comparable flight time that we did on the first